Well, hi, and welcome to my shop, and thanks so much for joining me here. It's March 27th today, 2023, and this is the radio I'm going to be working on. And I think this is going to be a pretty easy one, I think. So usually when I say that, the opposite happens. So the thing about this one is it's come with a note on it. It says, works but bad hum, 2022. That's just about a year ago. So let's just look it over a little bit. Cord looks great. Everything looks great. Looks like that's been wound up for a long time. This is probably the antenna sticking out. Oh, it's a gigantic. If it is the antenna, it's gigantic. External antenna connection. Tube lineup. So that's just the way it is. Looks like this board is screwed to the screw missing. Radio silencer switch. What's this here? Radio silencer switch. Now, why do you want to silence the radio? Because you've plugged your phonograph into there. Or you know what? Bluetooth could go in there. Not much of a tone control here. Treble and bass. Probably that's a treble cut, so it's really all treble depressed. That's probably what that really is. Range 540 to 1600, IF frequency 455. When new tubes are required, specify General Electric tubes for maximum performance. These are interesting words that you find in advertisings. The best, maximum, stuff like that. Those words are discounted in some way legally, so they can claim they're the best when they really aren't the best. There's something about those words. Caution: disconnect power cord from outlet before removing chassis. General Electric broadcast model C421. Well, it didn't give the wattage here, but it's probably 25 watts, something like that. Canadian General Electric Company Limited, Toronto, Canada. It's made in Canada. Has the Canadian Standards Association sticker on it. If you're American, you're used to seeing the Underwriter Laboratories sticker. So in here we use something called the Canadian Standards Association. Okay, looks great. It really does. I can see some white capacitors through these holes here. Ventilating holes. Let's look at the front again. It's a nice looking radio. It has a bit of an interesting look to it. A very dramatic big circle with this symbol in the middle. What is that? That's the General Electric symbol. Put their name up boldly on the top instead of down at the bottom. Maybe they're extra proud of this guy. He's called the Musaphonic. Musaphonic. Hey, do you have a Musaphonic in your house? Oh, that's the on-off switch. Can we just pull this further off? That's a little questionable. Sometimes these pull-on, pull-off are have a screw holding, but nothing here. Let's see if we can pull this one off. This must be the tuning. Oh, this doesn't feel good at all. It's a very bad feeling. It feels like the actual knob itself is being restricted. The knob or the shaft behind it, not the rest of the stuff. It feels like it's right in here. Is a little oil going to do that? Well, that came off easy enough. You got to come off too. And it came off. Okay, nothing special there. Now, because the note on it, we got a note here. Because the note on the top says hums badly, but works. Did I actually read that out to you? Works, but hums badly, but bad hum. That's a good sign. If you can repair radios, it's an easy repair to get rid of a hum. I mean, there could be more wrong with this guy. According to the note, there isn't. What's he say here? Warranty. There's the date. Something looks like 1961. I'm not sure what I'm seeing there. Test. No, this is a final test by inspector number 20. I'd like to meet inspector number 20. Offices, coast to coast. Canadian General Electric Company warrants, blah, blah, blah. Any defect in the radio, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not going to worry about the warranty because I'm pretty sure it's over now. You have to refer this to a qualified repairman or woman. Very strange. It's a strange world for me and everybody right now because here I am playing with this technology from way back when. In the meantime, the modern computer technology is exploding around us. It's gotten serious enough that I decided I'm going to teach myself Python, a programming language. I started working on that yesterday. Made pretty good progress in one day. I was quite impressed. Wrote my first Python program already. Stupid little thing, but because I have the sensation that a new order is going to come. In a sense, we can call it a new order. I guess I should have laid this down. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to be stuck in the old order. I think what I'm talking about, of course, is artificial intelligence and the unbelievable changes that are coming. Talk about unbelievable. Wait till you see the dust in this thing. Pretty good on the outside. Not so good in there. Holy smokes. Look at that. What a smile. The light bulb appears to be missing here. This isn't plugged in quite correctly. Where has this been? Somebody turned this on and said it hummed. Like it didn't burst into fire. Hey, I could use this for kindling in my fireplace. Oh my gosh, there's balls of dust in the cabinet there. Holy smokes. No one has ever opened this thing up since day one. And where were they keeping it? In a laundry room or something like that? How did it get that much dust on it? What is going on in somebody's space that this much dust could build up in here? You know, it's kind of hidden in here, right? It's in a container to some degree with a back on it. Yet it collected that much dust. Wow. Well, we got to get rid of this dust. That's got to be the first order of business here. I can't work on this. This thing, why isn't it coming all the way out? Because the speaker is connected. We're gonna, okay, it's connected by, isn't it? Pull this off. There we go. Let's bring it right out. Oh my God, what a dust farm this is. Holy smokes, that's enough dust to fill my whole house. Everything looks good in the cabinet except a lot of dust. Let me put it over here. Wow. I've been so impressed by dust. I mean, I've seen a lot of dusty radios, but this one pretty much takes the cake. Wow. Okay, I'm going to clean that away and then we'll take a closer look at it. Well, shocking to me, there's a complete radio under all that dust, and look, it actually looks to be in good shape, nice and shiny. No evidence of rust. Wow, I guess what that indicates is this radio sat somewhere for a long, long time. Long time. This is the audio input. It's worth looking at these things right now for plugging in your phone or something like that. This is a shielded wire here. There's metal shielding on it. You can see it heading towards the volume control here. Soldered there to the chassis. This is attached to this metal plate. Metal plate is screwed right into the chassis. The reason this is worth looking at is this is a non-polarized power plug. There is no power transformer in this radio. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubes, and they're of a sort. 12, 12, 12, 50, 35 that add up to around 115 volts. They're all in series. No transformer. This could potentially be a hot chassis radio. Very good chance of that. I see there's a ground strap here going to the shield around this particular tube. And that's about all we can see up on. Well, let's look at how the capacitor is supported. and supported up on insulators there. That's an important observation. Looks like wood. 3 wooden dowels there. So now, what would be interesting is to find out what has happened inside the radio here. With so much dust, do you think it's full of dust in there? I wouldn't be surprised. There's one big opening down here, I guess, to give you access to this coil. I guess that's what that's for. So you can do something with the base on. Let's take it off. You can always tell a Canadian-built appliance because almost inevitably they're built with the Roberts square screws, which I understand don't exist in the vast majority of the world. It is the best screw, let me tell you. Hey, these 2 screws are not the same, are they? Oh yeah, they are the same. The Robertson screw's been around for a long time in Canada, so it's ubiquitous in Canada. Everybody has. I didn't know there was anything special about it, of course, when I was a kid. I thought that's just the way screws are. One of the beauties of the square head screw is this. Holds the screw. I think that's it. Just 4 on the sides. And we'll just look at now what was going on back here. The screw is above the base. This is all above the base. It's all about the base. Okay, let's pull it off. What kind of a mess have we got inside here? Easy to come off. Oh, there's some dust in there. What's going on here? Here. All original, no surprise. I think I'm the first guy to open this up. Can I put this down? How can I put this down? Okay, I can sit like that. Maybe not the best way to do it, but good for now. More vacuuming is required here. Well, I think one of the things that's true here is you cannot judge a radio by its cabinet, because the cabinet looked pretty darn clean, and this guy turned out to be about as dusty as they come. So let's make some observations. So if there's trouble in here, it's a bit of a problem to fix it. We've got, just look at all the parts. So these capacitors, I believe, are highly reliable capacitors. I believe. I don't know. I believe, so I'm not jumping in to change these. This is the guy causing the hum. He's on his way out. So what I'm looking for are burned open resistors or just anything that looks weird in here. So these grommets, can you see that in the camera? They've gone hard, and this is the bottom of the 3 wooden dowels. They're doing their best to insulate the metal frame of the capacitor from the chassis. They don't want it touching. And then you can see here's the connection here through to the frame. There's a capacitor here going somewhere, who knows, to a ground, I don't know. This is a very old style of circuit board, I think we could say, in here. And there's a plastic board. The parts are mounted onto it, like these tube sockets are mounted onto it. Looks like there's a lot of parts up underneath here that we can't see. I can see one right here. You can kind of see how the wires are brought around. That's very odd. Why would they stick that resistor down there? You know why? Look, there's vent holes here. There's vent holes all the way along at the back, but there's extra vent holes here. And I think that resistor, it's a high wattage resistor, so I think, thoughtful engineer, put it near the window. Keep it cool. So this is the guy we're going to have to get rid of now. It's clamped in. Let's look at the power cord. How's the power cord treated? It comes over to the switch. From the switch, it comes up just into the circuit. The other side over here, this is probably the rectifier tube here. This big resistor is a hint also. It's tied on this wire. Oh, it's heading up for the light bulb. Oh. It's heading up to the light bulb? Is that written? No, I don't think so. Where's that? Where's that? Oh, it's going up maybe to the... Where's it going? Comes all the way up. Yeah, it is to the light bulb. This is... No, don't tell me this. There is a light in there. There's a light in there. This can't be 120 volt bulb. No, this is going to be not, of course not. Once in a while these radios do have a high voltage, 44. They have a, once in a while these radios have a full voltage bulb in it. Some of the older ones. So I guess they're trying to focus the light right on like a circle. Why would they do that? Why would they want to focus it with this? Because don't they want to try to light the whole dial? I mean, this whole thing's moving. So they want the whole thing lit, don't they? Such a mystery. There's a split in it. The split probably goes down this way. I don't know what they're up to. Because the light is actually recessed. So it's really beaming. I don't know. That's strange. Okay, can we operate this radio as it is? Well, we could, but we're going to hear a big hum. I think we can pretty much bank on that. So what I want to just go ahead and change this guy here. Because the leads are coming out the bottom. We got a yellow, a red, and a black. So the red is probably the main rectifier, and the yellow is probably a bypass. Let's see what it says up here. Red 100 microfarads, yellow 50 microfarads. So we can just guess the 50 is the bypass for output 2. Probably not going to bother with a schematic for this because I don't think I'm doing much except changing this. The wires, so this wire's right on this terminal. Black wire, I'm looking to see if the ends of the wires are exposed. They are, they're all available. So first thing I'm going to do is cut that guy away. I'll leave the wires behind. So we're going to need some new capacitors. I'm going to go ahead and install them, and then we're going to give the radio a try. Okay, that's done. So I've put in 3 capacitors, 2 in parallel. These are all 50 microfarad capacitors. So one's doing the job of the 50, and the other 2 are in parallel doing the job of the 100. I left the lead wires in because I found that they're very handy for doing this kind of work if you leave the original lead wires in. And I think we're ready to try operating the radio, and we'll see what it really does. Pretty sure it won't hum. Okay, let's see if we can deal with the stiff tuning. I think it's just lubrication right in there. That's needed. Right in there. And WD-40 should do the job. Yikes. Let's see if that's going to be enough. Right there. Yeah, that did it. That's all it took. Good. Okay. Let's flip it over. We'll hook up some speakers. This bar at the back must be the speaker, or I'm sorry, the antenna. Oh, there's another wire there. I was going to say there aren't enough wires going to it. You can see a little wire popping out here. 2 wires going there. Okay, volume is down. Snap the on-off switch too. Well, how do you turn this on and off? What gives here? Oh, it doesn't say on the cabinet. There's the switch. I'm just a weakling. I don't have the. Oh my gosh, the switch is broken. That's too bad. Well, hopefully it's broken on. Okay, we'll keep the volume down. Plug it in. Okay, now I'm going to power this up through these dim bulbs. Can you see the light bulb back there? That's how it's going to be powered up. That's to protect everything. And it's a small radio, so we're just going to use one bulb, the smaller bulb. And here we go. This will probably come on right away. What's happening? Is anything happening? No, wait a minute. No, I did not play this radio. So we have 110 volts on the plug. And we got nothing going on here. So either what's happened is one of these tubes is bad, has an open heater in it, and the whole set will not operate because they're in series, or the switch is broken open. So let's go with the switch is broken open. How would the person know that it hums? So we're going to want to do a test here. Set it like this. I'm going to look for the voltage across the switch. Do I have a replacement? I doubt it very much. Okay, just in case somehow it's come back to life. Think you can go inside these things and fix them? Jeez, I would doubt it. Okay, volt's not turned on yet. Voltmeter. I need my voltmeter here. Because this is a transformerless radio, I'm going to stay away from using grounded test equipment. And what we're looking for here is 120 volts across the open switch. Okay, power on. Okay, switch is in whatever situation it's in. We see 120 volts on the meter. The switch is shot. There it all is. So there's a couple things that can be done here. One is attempt to replace this. That's a toughie. Another one is to put an additional switch in. That's not too hard. Put a toggle switch and just mount it on the back panel here. So you want to play the radio, you've got to reach around the back, turn it on and off. Not a very big problem. So I think that's the route we're going to have to go eventually, but for now I'm going to put a gee, should I just use a regular clip lead on that? My clip leads can take it. Can you take it? Okay, so the power is off. We want to hear what the radio does before I do any more work on it. So we're going to just short right across the switch. Okay, as long as nobody moves, we're okay. A few too many tools on my bench. So the last video, I think the last one, I dropped a whole pile of screws on the floor, and I did a little analysis in my head afterwards. Why did that happen? The reason that happened was because I let my bench get too clogged up with stuff. I started piling things on things, and next thing you know, something fell off. So unfortunately this morning I had to sit and or squat and pick up 1,000 little screws off the floor I'm standing on now. Okay, so we're ready to give this guy a go. So the volume is down, switch is shorted, power is definitely going to come on this time. So what we want to watch for is this light right over here. Should come on and go off fairly quick. Should come on and go off. Should go down, down, down. So this is drawing a little more power than expected, maybe. So we got all of 46 volts getting over here. Okay, so its behavior is correct. It's just slow because this bulb isn't allowing enough through for the radio to heat up fairly quickly. So we'll never hear it, I think, at 63 volts. So we're going to hit it with the full Monty here. Okay, so now it's getting 110 volts. Look and see if the tubes are lighting up. Yes, they are. If one tube lights, they are all working. Volume, please. Volume, please. Calling for volume. Did the speakers come off? The speaker probably came off. Speaker, wire. Should have looked at those. No, they're connected. One of the unfortunate things about using the shop speaker, it's mounted on the wall, way up high, out of reach. I can't get my ear up to it. Oh, I can hear it there. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's switched to. Now let me just make sure I got the volume the right way. This would be down. There's interesting, the light there. I think the light, I didn't notice, I think the light moves around with the pointer. They travel together. I think that's what they did there. So there's a good chance the switch is set to phono. Let's just look here. Wait a minute. It's right on the back, but you don't have to go anywhere. Radio silencer for radio. Yeah, I've got it in the phono position. So we're going to turn it down. Phono, radio it. Oh, I hear a radio. Okay, what's going on there? So in the radio, there's the regular three connections to the potentiometer, and then there's another one back here. So as I sweep past the one back there, hey, where'd you go? It's coming and going. Volume control behavior is weird. Minimum, and then back up again. Minimum, back up again. Now, I'm going to try to tune the radio here. So this is plugged into a isolation transformer right now. There's no voltage to ground anywhere on it. It's just voltage, self-voltage. Can I say that? Self-voltage? Oh yeah, she's working. So I think you can find it's 80 right down in this area. Probably the radio's not in the right position. So direction. Oh. So I'm gonna flip it over, maybe stick it back in its cabinet, or put the back on it. I should put the bottom on it. That's what I gotta do. I gotta figure out what to do about this. We can't just plug it in when you want it, and then when you don't want to unplug it. Pretty darn inconvenient. Popping a hole in the back here, running some wires around, that's easy. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to work. Tight. Maybe it's not going to work. Can ream it out. Okay, that's got it. Okay, just to run some wires down here and under the chassis. Easy job. Right near the volume control, which is not a good idea. We're going to run it over this way. You know, the switch is mounted right on the volume control, so you don't want power wires going too close to the very sensitive audio circuits, which are usually coming right out of the volume control. It's very sensitive there. So a little bit of nonsense there, and nonsense. Okay, I'm going to finish doing this and see what I'm up to. Okay, now to wire the switch, I want to make sure that the switch is up. It's switched on, so I'm going to look for the bottom ones. Okay, just want to be absolutely sure. Bottom ones it is. Okay, putting the bass back on so we can hear what this really, how it really works. The bass could have an influence on the radio's operation. Looks like I'm driving it right into these wires. I would never recommend anybody try the to use the phono plug on a radio of this sort, the kind that does not have a transformer and has a potential hot chassis. I would just say stay away from it myself. You know, what are you going to get anyway? You're going to plug a Bluetooth thing and listen to it out of this crappy little speaker. I mean, you might, but people do stuff like that. So here's the thing I hadn't noticed about this light. The light here travels right along with the pretty cool. Okay, back into the cabinet, and then we're going to play it. Here's something a little unusual about the cabinet. See the speaker? Can you see the screws holding it in? No, you cannot. The screws that are holding it in are behind this fancy grill here. You'd have to pop this grill off, which is probably possible, to get at the screws to take the speaker out. Why would you want to take the speaker out? Well, to clean the cabinet better. But I don't think I'm going to take it out, because the risk of trying to pop out this piece is really high in terms of cracking, something cracking somewhere. And then you've cracked the grill, the radio's shot. So I'm not taking that risk. The idea is to give these guys a chance to live on, and not necessarily to make them perfect, and not necessarily to solve every problem with them. It's to give them a chance. I'm giving you a chance, buddy. So right now what we want to hear is how it sounds with its own speaker. And these wires here that are going to the speaker, these are coming right out of the transformer. This is the actual wire that is wound around the inside of the transformer. Don't want to break these. Okay, go on. I'm going to have to take it apart anyway because I got to clean it all up. Okay, get that one on. It's just going on and falling right off. Squeezed open. Who did that? Squeezed open. They can't squeeze things open. Maybe that's going to be good enough. We'll test. As long as it stays on there. Looks good. Put this in place. There we go. Turn it off. Make sure the switch works. Okay. It's back to normal. Yeah, if it puts a nice red circle or a white circle there, that's really cool. That makes this radio interesting and a little bit different, and that's probably why they did it. They probably said, we can't produce just another boring radio. We need something exciting on our radio. Oh my gosh! What a bozo! Jim's a bozo. Jim's a bozo. It's got a pull-on off switch. They. Dumb. Pretty dumb. Well, okay, we'll leave it the way it is now. We'll turn it off here. We'll turn it off there. We'll leave it for now. Anyway, what a dummy. I'm a dummy. Were you yelling at me? No! It's got a push-on-off switch. You need to yell louder because I can't hear anybody in here. So just put these on lightly. No harm done. The technique I used, the switch I put in, is just removed like that. Nothing else was changed. I didn't really mention that, but I do it the way I do it so somebody else can come along and go, this is stupid, and fix it some other way. And I haven't interfered with the possible future things. Okay, so this is off. It's just, I can't believe I made that mistake. Okay, so power is on. We will check the back switch. Back switch. Oh, you can see the dim bulb light came on back there. So we're going to turn it off here. Now we're going to turn it on here. Oh, you dummy. Hey. Stuff happens. We'll be able to steer it around a little better here. Maybe get the antenna in the right angle. Pick some stuff up. We are powering it with only, well, 64 volts. That won't do the trick. We are powering it now with 110 again. As for the weird behavior of the volume control, I think I might ignore that. Let's see if it picks anything up. So that's a French station. Let me turn the tone switch up. Oh yeah, that's better. The French station should be around 860, but it's showing up at 9 something. Let's go back there for a sec. You can't even hear it there. And I've got this interference coming through too. So that's 590. It should be down here, of course. That's up here on the dial. I'm not too far off. Ooh! Don't fall out, radio. Okay, so with that test, I'm going to go away and ponder the situation and try to decide what I might want to do about it. Putting my hand near the antenna, that quieted it down, didn't it? Not really. The switch. Yeah, well, I got to think about whether I want to do more work on this or this guy's essentially done at this point. Well, I think it's worth doing a little alignment work on this radio because it's so simple to do. And even with the bottom on, they have left some access holes here so we can go in and make adjustments. And I still don't know exactly why this is open like this. There's no adjustment there. The other two adjustments are here, oscillator and the antenna adjustment. You can see the antenna, it's like right up to the antenna. And the oscillator is the smaller set of plates on here. Okay, at the very least, we can check the alignment and see if I can improve it. Certainly, I can shift the local oscillator and change the scale setting. You can't do this. I got to put it back in the cabinet here. So one of the first steps in doing an alignment is checking the pointer position. The way this pointer's on there, it looks like you could turn this. You'd have to release it a bit. And there isn't a key. It doesn't look like there's a key, so it could be in the wrong position. But it also looks like there's no way it ever shifted from the day they built this thing. So I can't imagine it's wrong. Let's just see what it is. And then I'm going to set it to a particular frequency based on the dial. So I'm going to center these up. Don't bother turning it on. It's not plugged in anyway. Now, what we want to know, I'll just tip this up like this, is the range of movement. Come back, radio. Is the range of movement, not out the back. Here we go. Okay, so it hits right on 55. Goes past 160. And if you remember, when it's tuning a station here, the pointer's too far along. I think this pointer, we gotta just move the pointer back a bit. Now sometimes there's a pointer mark for a guy like me to locate the pointer. Other times the instructions would be set it perfectly level. That's another instruction that could exist. Or set it on one of these particular numbers. But I have the feeling, because it says it goes from 540, which is below here, up to 1600. Isn't that what it said? The range is 540 to 1600. So it really should end at 1600. So I think we can set that back a little bit. That's quite a ways past. Okay, so how far? What are we talking about here? We're talking about a very small amount. That's precision. Okay, small amount. Let me put this over here. Small amount. Now, maybe I can just twist it on the shaft. I mean, I'm supposed to be able to do that. I want to twist it. Oh my gosh, it's as loose as can be. Okay, well that kind of... So let's do the 180 degree thing. Not there, here. There, that's 180 degrees. Okay, we'll accept this as the proper setting for the dish, the disc. Okay. It's not falling off or anything, is it? No, I don't think so. Okay. So set here, we now know the radio should be tuned for 540, right? 540. Or 1600 at the other end. Either way we can do it. Let's look at the cabinet again, just make sure those two numbers are actually... See, they're not. This is... Well, it's supposed to go a little lower here. But this is not straight across. I don't think it's straight across. I go 160 and 55. I'm up above the center point here. So having this go level is going to cause it to go just below the 55 where 540 would be. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's... See, I'm not... Maybe the instructions are available somewhere. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to wing it. I'm going to wing it here. Okay, so we got to get a little bit of test equipment going. First thing we got to do is the IF, which we know is that's supposed to be at 455. So I will get things set up for that. Okay, I think we're ready to start. So I have a signal generator running. The frequency is set to 4. That would be 55, even though it says, oh, it says 54. My counter's just a wee bit off. This would be the ideal tool to use because of the handle and everything, but it doesn't fit in the little hole here. So I'm going to have to resort to small screwdrivers. Even this one is too big. So putting a metal screwdriver into a slug, which is down here, a slotted slug, is probably going to affect the radio each time I do it. But we're going to start like this and see how far we can get. Maybe there'll be trouble. Okay, so the radio is switched off because I know how to work the switch now. Okay, put it like that. Turn it on. Now I do not have any grounds on here yet. I've left the ground off for now. Let's see if that does the trick. Here we go. Switch on. And you can see the dim bulb came on over there. Which I think we're okay. Warm up. So I'm going to do this by ear to begin with, which is also not the best way to do things. But we don't have to do everything the best way all the time. That's what I say. What we should hear is, we should hear a tone. I'm just going to check the calibration on my, sorry, I'm standing in front of the, there we go. Okay, so I'm trying to jam the IF frequency into the antenna and have it work its way through the radio. I certainly don't hear anything right now, but how come that would be? Let's go hunting for it. Well, it's roughly there. Odd that it's not... well, I don't have the ground on, but a little odd that it's not... you can't hear the tone. Oh, maybe it's because of this. No, I'm at 30% modulation. Let's put the higher tone in. Let's hunt a little more here. Well, there's a hiss when I get there. Let me belt it with a little more signal here. There we are. That's better. I feel better now. Again, because I don't have the ground wire hooked up, and the radio's not built to receive this signal from the antenna, so I'm jamming her through. Now, we will, once again, just using the ear balls, we will listen to this. A little wide. It seems to be centered about here. It's pretty close. So we're going to try to... I may have to put a meter on this now. We'll do the test here to see if this is influencing things. I don't think so. Didn't seem to. Okay, now we're going to get in the slot here. I don't think there's anything to be gained out of that. Ooh. What happened there? What happened? It seemed like the volume went down. Nothing seriously wrong with the IF, I don't think. Let's try the bottom now. Just tip this up and have it sit on its back. Wow, it's probably something to do with the my connection, my signal generator connection. That's probably what's happening there. Don't let anybody ground out. Don't ground out. Don't you ground out. Okay. Now I gotta stick this in here and kind of fish my way. Oh my gosh. I'm almost at a screwdriver here. Okay, I'm in. Oh boy, just touch this thing. What's going on? What's going on, man? This one, straight in. Oh, I hate sticking a screwdriver into a radio blind. Okay, I'm in. You know, I'm not making much difference here. Very hard to tell. If it's out, it's not out by enough to worry about. It's really the oscillator that we want to adjust. Okay, so that was kind of a check. We're going to want to dial in 540 up here. 540. Here the radios. I'm blasting it. Hitting it too hard. Just a little more. And we'll cut this calibration here. Calibration's good. Just cut it back a little bit here. This is all the way down. We should be picking up 540. That's roughly here. Okay, we'll adjust the oscillator. This is the one that's going to help, I think. Oh, what happened there? I'm not doing anything. Who's acting up? I took the switch off, by the way, the extra power switch, that's been removed. There's a bigger screwdriver, I'll have more control here. Does it make a difference? Is this all the way down now? That's the volume channel. I got the switch figured out, I'm still working on the volume. Okay, max this guy. So now the radio will receive 540 when the pointer is all the way over. But the circle is not pointing right at the pointer. The circle of light. Oh. That's right, I've moved this plate. But I didn't move the light. Can you even do that? You can't even do that. Well, we'd like this to be in the center of the light, I think. Right there. I really think it has to be that way. Didn't make any difference. Oh, because I'm not retuning the radio. Yeah, that's going to be close enough. Okay, the last adjustment is the antenna adjustment. Let's do that way up here. That's supposed to be 1600 now. Let's find out. Hello, 1600. Oh, look at that. 1700. That's a problem. If this thing is tracking on... Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. Okay, not to dwell too long. You know, these radios, they may not have been all that great when they came out of the... Here we go. Not strong enough. When they came out of the factory. So we get a lot loud, not a lot, but a bit louder here, but we need to check the other end. Because most people would be listening down here, around my area. Things got pretty quiet here, didn't it? Okay, so we'll go back to the 540 setting. That's too loud. So this was pretty tight. I've loosened it. Now we'll tighten it. Weaker. open it up quite a bit. Well, let's see what we can pick up now. Oh, I fixed it really good. Yeah, maybe using the ears hasn't done the right thing. Look, this is still off center here. Did I bump it again? It's got to be dead on that light, or this just will look wrong. Well, come on. Any station. Where'd you go? A number of times I've aligned a radio and it's gone from okay performance to worse. And the alignment, I'm pretty sure, is correct. Not in this case, though, because I'm not using instruments. So maybe I've messed that up somehow. It's not much to it. There he is, finally. Got a station. This is the antenna adjustment. Getting quieter now. So in my shop here, as I've learned, the AM reception is just terrible. I take these radios out to other locations in my house, and often I'm floored by how much they pick up. So I guess all the metal equipment around here, and not very impressive. I'm going to try the rocking technique here. Okay, so we're going to go a little up in the tuning, and then we're going to adjust the oscillator. Got to do this with more equipment, for sure. Well, you might want to man your volume control for this. I'm going to be using the audio signal going to the speaker on this meter to judge the adjustments as I make them. And I have to have the volume turned up a little bit, so it's kind of an annoying thing. I can actually rearrange my microphones a little bit here. Let's try that. So, no, that shouldn't be quite as bad. Okay. You gotta wonder if what this meter is showing is all the noise that's coming through or the signal itself. I guess I can increase the signal level and try to knock the noise out. Not the best idea. I'll change the modulation. We'll see if the meter goes up and down. Ooh, what's happening there? So much noise right at the spot there. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do because I can't get a clear signal out of the signal generator on that meter until I've got the level turned up so high that it's probably going to be hard to do an alignment with it. Jeepers, what to do here? If I could kind of kill off the radio a little bit, but at the same time I need the radio to receive the signal. Well, I can try tightening up the ground here. I do have a capacitor in the circuit. Do I have any other grounds on? Just one right here. It's on the secondary side of the transformer. So I can put another ground on it. I think we'll be okay. Apparently we're okay. An official testing technique there. Okay, I have the ground on now. Should have had this turned up when I did that. Yep, I think that's much better. Okay, so I have this tuned all the way. Oh, wait, no, what? Oh, I see what's happened here. So I have trouble with this meter, and this unit's on for like an hour and a half. This meter starts drifting upscale, and even though it should be saying 0, it's saying that. And so I thought I had modulation going. I did not. Okay, now we have some modulation going. That's what we're listening to. Okay. Have I got it together here? I don't know. Now what frequency is that? I'll tune for maximum on this barely moving meter. Right there, and the frequency is close to 550 when it should be 540. But I did move this pointer up. I don't know what it all means. I think it means at this point we should really have 540 there. So I'm going to dial down to 540. And then we're going to adjust the oscillator to make that happen. Watch the meter here. Bigger screwdriver. Where'd it go? There it is. Very clear, right there. That's the spot. Now I'm going to do the antenna adjustment. Although I shouldn't. Cranking it in. It's getting weaker. Going to be retuning a bit. So I found on another radio I was working on that when you do the antenna adjustment on that radio, the oscillator moves too, and that was sad. Okay, let's see if we can pick anything up now. So. Oops. Antenna. Everything just went down, down, down. Now I'm sure I take this radio into another place in my house and it'll work great. Quiet area right in the middle of that. Searching for the French. Don't grab that. You want to show up. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll make sure the radio's tuned. I'll set this to 860. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the frequency of the put this on here. That should be 860. Bingo. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh, there's something going on with this radio, all right. It's better. What happened? That was a mistake, doing that. What did I shake right out of it? Oh, I turned it off. I thought I figured that switch out, but apparently I didn't. I think this is as good as this radio's going to get. That's not bad reception. That's actually quite good. Okay. Back in the cabinet it goes.
Est-ce que, comme le veut Christian Dubé, on devrait recruter à l'extérieur du ministère ou à l'extérieur de la fonction publique pour les postes de cette agence qui sera créée? On a vu un peu Christian Dubé faire un appel du pied auprès de ce qu'il a appelé les Top Guns du privé.